New American Liberty League. Listen, I know I don't have the face for videos or the voice for podcasts. So to all of you that are going to watch in 2025, I'm sorry. I am D. Hearn, Daniel Leonardo Hernandez. This is my son, Emil Alexander Hernandez, in whom I am well pleased. We've missed a little bit, so happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, all that good stuff. Hope everybody's doing good. Big topic today. We're going to get on New Year's resolutions and do they really matter? In the notebook news, we're going to do a recap of some of the stuff we missed. Obviously, talk about some of the more current stuff. Why is Biden leaving Trump a mess? Capitalist pig. We're going to talk about just new things you could do, things you can do and should try this year. Life and entertainment. We're going to talk about little NFL, WWE Raw being on Netflix and what that means for cable. But first, let's get into the big topic. New Year's resolutions. Have you made them before? Do you have them this year? Does it matter? And the answer is no. We have given time meanings. Of course, everybody knows BC is before Christ. AD is, how do you pronounce
After
it?
death.
No, it's a Menu Domini. It's a Latin term, I believe, that means year of the Lord is AD. But yes, we make it after death. Either way, it's tied to Christ. But the thing is that we give time meanings. We give these numbers meanings. No matter what you're promising to yourself, to your family, to the people around you, whatever it is, numbers changing on a calendar is not going to make you a different person. If you want to better yourself, if you want to better your situation, whatever it is, relationship with God, relationship with your family, making money, getting healthy, which is, probably one of the most common ones, stopping this habit or that habit, starting this habit or that habit, whatever it is, those kind of changes have to come within. If you were a piece of shit last year, you're a piece of shit this year. A number changing, a date changing is not going to change that. If you're one of these people that at the end of every year, oh, I can't wait for this year to be over so I can start again. Well, the next year comes, oh, I can't wait for this year to be over so I can start again. And then the following year, oh, I can't. And you've been saying the same shit since 2004. A calendar is not going to change that. You need to self-reflect and realize you're the piece of shit, not the year. 2004 being bad isn't 2004's fault. It's your fault. It's perspective. Just like 2025 being great has nothing to do with a number. 2025, I'm sorry. Being great has nothing to do with a number. It has to do with you. It has to do from within. For me, the biggest life changes I've ever made, me and Emil both, and I know a lot of people are pretty self-motivated. I don't need a year to do that. The biggest life changes I've ever made have only been in the last few years, and they correlate directly with my relationship with God. So my advice to anybody, if you're going to work on any one thing first, make it that. With that said, one of the most disciplined people that I know is actually an atheist. Just my take. But the point is this. Years aren't miserable. People are. Years aren't great. People are. You got a choice to make. Not this year, not on January 1st, but every single day you have a choice to make. Any thoughts on that, Emil? Also, do you have any, I know we don't really do New Year's resolutions, but do you have any goals or anything you're working towards, whether they even came in from last year or whatever? What are your goals and what are your thoughts on what I just said?
Yeah, I think you just knocked it out the park. The one thing I do like about New Year's is more so a tracking metric. Okay. In the beginning of the New Year's, I think it's personally good to take progress photos and almost take it as an assessment period of where you are in life. That way, every year you have an assessment period of the progress that you made. And I think that's a great thing. With that being said, I don't just do that on New Year's. Me and you take progress photos constantly, and we're constantly tracking all types of different metrics. I do have some goals for this year, but they also came in from 2024 because I was previously working on them. One of them is to hit 190. I'm currently at 185 pounds. So that would be nice, and then I'm going to start cutting. In terms of money, I mean, the goal is always to make more, right? I'm doing chess coaching on the side now, so hopefully I can grow both YouTube channels, the New American Liberty League, and my chess channel. And aside from that, also getting to 2200 this year would get me to National Master in chess. That would be very nice. And yeah, I think that's pretty much all of my resolutions. What about you? Any goals for this year?
Goals for this year, not on a year. The thing you're talking about with being able to track for the New Year's, that's a great. I think that's better than any New Year's resolution. It just gives you a period of time to track. I do the same thing. I usually do it on my birthday, which is in September. That's how I track years, is my years. All great stuff, Emil. I know you're going to accomplish that. When somebody's trying to gain weight instead of lose weight, you know they're a gym rat. So congratulations on my gym rat son now. Steroids kicking in anytime now. But call me when you need them because I got them. All right. Sponsor this half hour. I'm going to give 2 sponsorships. One to us, Hernandez Trust, Hernandez Family Trust, investments and properties. We've been sitting on some assets for a while, wanted to make some moves, and I got somebody in town that's a great friend, great person, unbelievably knowledgeable. Matter of fact, a few years ago, she gave me some great advice not to sell something. I didn't sell when I wanted to. I held on and it worked out unbelievable. So I'll always thank her for that. She owns the brokerage here in Tallahassee. So if you ever need any real estate advice, any real estate work done, she's an incredible woman to work with. Patty Wilson, the brokerage, an incredible woman. So thank you, Patty. Thank you, the brokerage. We've recently done some work together that I hope is very lucrative. And thank you very much. News, Emil. Let's do a little recap. I'm going to throw some things out there, and then I'll let you talk on them. Luigi, the guy that killed the insurance CEO, is he good or bad? We don't have to cover the news again. Everybody knows what happened. I just want to get into, is this guy a good guy or a bad guy? The drones flying all over the place. I believe that was the same thing as the balloons from a year or two ago. I think that is Biden. It's either us, it's either some of our technology, or if it is spying, it's Biden taking money from foreign countries and allowing them airspace. Nothing like that would happen without a stand-down order from the very top. So I just see that as money washing and bribery. Some of the other things that have happened recently, Jimmy Carter died. Great person, awful president. Nobody's making a big deal about him. I don't think in history he's going to be talked about much. Like I said, great person. There's 2 kind of Democrats. Democrats, in the history of Democrats, there's been 2 kind of Democrat presidents. Democrats that ruin our nation off of pure incompetence, and Democrats that do it purposely off of pure evil or love and admiration for communism. He was the better of the 2. Pure incompetence. What else? Oh, and I know something else you wanted to bring up too. The whistleblowers and how that story was just completely washed under the rug. What are your thoughts? Is Luigi a good guy or a bad guy? Get into the whistleblowers and some of that story.
So I definitely don't think Luigi is a bad guy. I have heard Republican media try to paint him as a bad guy sometimes. Mm-hmm. I think he's either in the gray area or he's a good guy. And I think it's just one of the 2. he did what he felt was right, which was going after a corrupt individual, which is, I mean, we don't particularly say kill them, but I do think we should be going after corruption, and I think me and you point that out. And the guy just, like I said, he felt like he did what was right, and this was with intent. It's not like he went on the street to kill some random guy. His bullets had special words which clearly meant something to him, and I believe it's what insurance say to deny claims. So I don't know if they denied one of his like grandma's claims or something like that. I wouldn't be shocked, and maybe it led to her passing. I'm just kind of guessing, but he definitely had a reason, and I'm sure that CEO was a corrupt individual. I'm like 99% sure. So I think it's either gray area or he was a good guy.
I think everything's perspective. To some people, the CEO was probably great, shareholders, his family, and to some people, Luigi's going to be a good guy. To some, he's going to be a bad guy. I'd like to believe that there was something he could have done a step before you kill someone. With that said, on more extreme levels of that, if you truly think someone's evil, if you truly think someone's corrupt and doing things on purpose, sometimes certain things are necessary. And I'm not saying this was that case. Like I said, run the guy down in the street and try to talk to him. Have a sign out that you obviously knew where he lived. Have some protest out his front door. Maybe try something before you shoot the guy in the back. But good and evil, sometimes there is a lot of gray. How about the whistleblowers, Emil?
This
in that story
is a ridiculous case because it was a non-story. There were these two Boeing whistleblowers, which one of them was earlier in 2024 and one was more recent. Mm-hmm. They both happened to commit suicide before going on trial and speaking out against Boeing. Huh. And the news did not mention this at all.
And there was one more recently.
And then the most recent one is with OpenAI, which is ChatGPT. I'm sure most of y'all guys have thought about it. This other whistleblower went to go give trial, and he also committed suicide. Amazing. His mom is now speaking out and trying to get the FBI to research this. She says it was flat out murder. Like, she says he didn't commit suicide, and she knows that it's murder. And I think she's right. Like, more than likely, he did not.
When do we get, and how do we get, maybe with this Trump administration, there's some hope, but the swamp is still the swamp. And this, I think, is more embedded than we ever imagined. What will it take, and when will it ever happen, if it ever happens, that this government actually has some kind of accountability? Speaking of the left and the government having accountability, does it just seem, to me it does it seem like to you, with all this craziness going on since the election, I thought Biden was done. I said, there's only 2 months left before Trump actually takes office. What bad can he possibly do at this point? Does it seem like he's going into overdrive to make things bad for the incoming administration?
Yeah, somehow he's doing more at this point of the administration than the entire rest. But I was with your thought. I was like, all right, Trump won. He's just kind of going to sit there and like lie down on a beach for 2 months. But no, they seem to. I don't think it's Biden actively going out of his way.
It hasn't been Biden for 4 years.
Yeah, but whoever his puppet masters are clearly trying to give Trump as much chaos as possible. Passing the final Ukraine bill.
2 final Ukraine bills.
These terrorist attacks in overdrive. The Regi. There's a lot of stuff.
Selling humongous chunks of the border wall. Oh, the drilling ban.
Yeah.
The new drilling ban that Biden did an executive order for a guy that's coming in saying, drill, baby, drill. And he passes this huge drilling ban.
This thing with the U.S. Steel that's happening. Stopping this massive acquisition. Yep. And
a lot of other stuff going on around the world. Trudeau stepping down in Canada. The ripple effects. Biden is doing everything. It's interesting because Biden is doing everything nationally to slow Trump down. They want to slow down his first 100 days. He's doing everything he can here and around the world with other world leaders and events. and tariff talks and all this, the ripple effects of a capitalist, a businessman like Trump taking the office is showing itself all across the world already. Yeah. And then you got Biden trying to bring him down here, and the two's an interesting mix. Things have been really interesting.
Trudeau stepping down directly correlates with Trump getting in office 100%. Yep. Like, no question about it.
He knows being a socialist, he's not effective anyway. He knows him being a socialist in Canada, which we dominate, we could run over anytime we want to. With Trump coming in, he knew there was nothing that he could do there. Fake sponsor this half hour, Emil. Facebook. Who needs fact checkers when you have shadow bans? Facebook. Thank you, Zuck. Facebook getting rid of fact checkers, by the way. No. But, who needs them? Capitalist pig section, Emil. I want to let you talk on some things you think people could do. If people want to have resolutions, you're going into a new year, what are some big things people could do and change? And, and I know this is something that is going to be different for people on different levels, obviously. Tell me something that younger people could do and change, since you're in that age group. What are something younger people could do, change, add on, or something to improve their situation?
So, younger people have this incredible advantage that older people don't have, which is time. And
Am I older?
Yeah, you'd definitely be considered older. We have a ton of time to just sit down and research stuff. Mm-hmm. And tell what's going to be good, and the point I'm trying to make here is to get into the stock market or stuff like that. Basically, any investment you make at a young age gets to use compound interest much more effectively than when you're older. Mm-hmm. And that goes with anything. Right now, you can sit down and research stocks for like hours and just find what's going to be good in the next 10 years. I have a friend named Gibson who makes thousands in the stock market already, and he's only 18. I'm also doing pretty good. He's doing even better than I am. I think that's
when I was 18, I used to have to read a newspaper the day after the stocks to track all the stocks. And I remember keeping charts like that. Oh my God. And now this his friend's 18 making thousands on his phone. Life. Some things... Listen, just make a big move. Make a big move. Whatever it is, just make it. If you're young, like he said, compound interest is your friend. It's the easiest, most reliable way to become a millionaire. Get into some stocks, get into a 401k or an IRA, whatever your situation is. Get into anything like that you can that has compound interest. And by 40 or 50, you're going to be a millionaire. If you water it enough. Do a budget, side hustles. With the internet now, Emil's doing chess coaching online. With the internet now, if you're young, there's so many new opportunities for side hustles. There it is. If you're just starting off and you really don't have a lot of money, get 2 or 3 jobs. When I was young, by the time I was 15, I had 2 jobs and I didn't drop out of high school either. Sometimes when you start at the bottom, you have to make money physically. You have to make money by putting in hours. It sucks. I know that's not what people want to hear, but adding a second job or even a third job is a huge move. No, it's not forever, but make those huge moves now.
I would say try to learn a new skill with that so that you can also move more to just doing one job, but now you have a high income skill that you can use.
Yep. That's always a big move. If you're on that next level, make bigger investments, pick up a house, pick up a rental property. We just picked up, we'll talk more about it later, but we just picked up a house for an investment property. Whatever it is, be smart, but at the same time, make big moves. Try that going into 2025. And like I said, those big moves are completely dependent on where you're at in life. But, to someone young, just making a budget could be a huge move. If you're a little older, that you may look at that like small potatoes. If you're a little older, go try to get yourself in your first investment property, or if you have a single family house you rent out, go try to get yourself a quadplex or a little apartment. Make a big move this year. Look, don't fear. If you have faith in God and you know God is good and you believe in God's will, don't fear. Matter of fact, buy the fear. Buy the fear. Whatever it is, if you're at that level in life where you could be an investor, buy the fear. That's what we did.
Yeah.
But just make a big move in 2025, whatever it is, and at whatever level you're at, make a big move. Just go for it. What can it hurt? It's going to hurt you worse not making that big move.
And as a side point, health is wealth as well. If one of your main problems is that you can't stop smoking cigarettes, or that you're obese or something like that.
All those are money savers too.
It's going to help you save money. It's also very tough to work 3 jobs if every 5 minutes you have to take a smoke break, or you're getting winded going upstairs.
Or you can't get up in the morning without drinking beers.
Make sure to also focus on health if that's one of the issues that you're lacking, because it will just significantly cost you in the future with medical visits and stuff like that.
Absolutely. You save money on your bad habits, like he said, medical visits, and also, and I know this is another thing people don't want to hear, it's a hard truth. How you look matters. You apply for a job and you got face tattoos, you're not going to get it. You apply for a job and you're a fat slob, they're going to see a lazy worker. I know it sounds harsh, but it's true. How you look, how you present yourself, what you show to the world, it matters, especially to employers. If I see a man that comes in or a woman that comes in and looks great, looks fit, dresses good, speaks well, I know that person's going to be a better worker than the fat slob that shows up to an interview in jeans. So yeah, like he's saying, health is wealth. Life and entertainment, Emil, NFL playoffs starting. That's huge. I lost my fantasy championship by 3 points. That sucks. And anyway, congratulations, Keithan. NFL playoffs starting. Any thoughts on the NFL year? Any thoughts on the playoffs?
For me, for you say it's a bit different. For me, this was a very boring year. The Cowboys looked like they had no chance of the playoffs from literally the 4th week.
Yeah.
If we looked just awful and Dak got hurt, it was a mess.
Not that Dak matters.
No, not like it made a big difference. But he's at least the first round playoff quarterback typically.
Yeah. You get to watch for an extra week.
Yeah. But yeah, I think the playoffs are going to be very boring, and I think Burrow's out of the playoffs as well.
Mahomes going for 3-peat. That gives us some interest.
That's the only thing to watch. But really, I'm just going to check in at the Super Bowl and watch.
Listen, Jerry Jones, sell the team, please. You're garbage. Die or sell it. If it takes you dying to sell the team, please go home. Go home. The Lord's calling you.
Luigi went after the wrong person. That's all.
We'll send Luigi Jerry Jones' address. An interesting thing happened last night too, Emil, and I think last night, it's been building to this for a long time. I think this is the nail in the coffin. WWE Raw, something that's been on cable for 40 years, wrestling. Humongously popular my whole life, just an American staple. WWE Raw last night was on Netflix. We've seen boxing on Netflix. We see sports moving to Netflix and streaming. Does cable have any future?
I don't believe so. Especially now that YouTube TV and things like that are a thing. I think cable boxes and stuff like that are totally a thing of the past.
Done.
They're just going to become like internet providers. Even that, I'm not sure how much longer they have.
Yeah. Cable is Blockbuster. Cable is shopping malls. Cable is it better figure out something fast. It better adjust fast, or or it's going to be Blockbuster. No way around it.
Yeah, I think it's super outdated.
Yeah. You know what saddens me about that is malls. Malls really make me sad. I see we have some here. We had one here in town they demoed, but I see like a lot of the reels and stuff on social media now of like just abandoned malls.
Yeah.
And man, what an American staple that's just gone. I think malls should have went from, you have to adjust. You have to see these things coming. There was a point when malls could have transitioned from shopping malls to entertainment malls. And you know, you give yourself movie theaters, pickleball courts, gyms, food courts, bowling alleys, whatever it is. There was a point, the buildings were already there, the infrastructure was already there. Their thinking didn't change. There was a cool adjustment that could have happened with malls that they just completely missed, and now they're gone. And it's it's sad when you see things like that go. And cable is definitely next up.
Maybe the Team Hunt Trust in the future brings back those kinds of malls.
Hernandez family.
Family Trust.
There
Yeah.
Listen, Zuck said he's getting rid of fact checkers. Maybe now's our chance. The shadow ban is real. It's more evident all the time. Zuck, drop the shadow ban. Go support all like-minded conservatives, whether it's on social media, whether it's in Hollywood, television, businesses, whatever it is. Support each other, support our page, subscribe to our page. Anytime you watch a video, tell your friends to subscribe. They don't even got to watch. Just tell them to go hit the subscribe button. Listen, just support like-minded people, support good people, support conservatives. And we are the new American Liberty League.
Saving the Republic, one listener at a time.
Let's just stare at the camera. Just stare on it.
Yeah. Can we add that bottom?